Hi, welcome back. Let's Talk Retail, the PRA podcast. It's our fourth season. Fourth season. That. Congratulations to the PRA. Thank you very much for the opportunity to host this podcast. It's an award-winning podcast. It's a focus on topics in retail. Very useful, very relevant to us, especially during these crazy times. Now, we started this podcast in July 2020. It's now 2022. It's almost over, and we have done a lot of topics, talking about the pandemic, talking about insights of our retailers. For this particular session, we're going to focus on a hot topic, an emerging one. During the last NARCE, this was one of the topics we tackled. In fact, our last speaker, Shai Revilla of Metro Pacific, talked about this. And we have noticed also that this particular topic is becoming important not only in the corporate world, whether it's retail or finance or fast-moving consumer goods, but also for the shoppers themselves. Okay, but before I go on, please, we encourage you, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know the drill. Just hit subscribe button and you have access to a wealth of information through our Let's Talk Retail podcast. Okay, now let me introduce our guest who will open our fourth season. Her career currently revolves on fashion and social entrepreneurship. She advocates and promotes women empowerment as a necessary tool for nation building. She has been actively supporting weavers in various communities throughout the Philippines through livelihood projects of the Brands Foundation. She's been leading the retail brand's effort to adopt sustainability as a way of making and selling clothes. Through her leadership, their brand became the first fashion brand in the Philippines to become a participant member in the prestigious United Nations Global Compact. Friends, please welcome on screen the co-CEO and Chief Creative Officer of Bayo Manila, Ana Lagon.
Hi, CJ. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Ana. Nice to see you again. The last time we saw each other was in August, right?
Yes, during the NARCE.
You're one of our panelists for that very interesting conversation we had on Brave Hearts. Okay, so Ana was part of a panel, ladies and gentlemen, called Brave Hearts. This were a retailer who just said labad lang in the midst of the pandemic. So we now have Ana talking about something close to her heart, sustainability. That's the special topic and the emerging hot topic in retail and in the corporate world. Okay, Ana, just a bit background about Bayo. When was Bayo, how old is Bayo?
Bayo is actually in its 30th year now.
Wow, 30 years.
Since 1992.
And how many stores do you have now?
For Bayo, it's more than 60.
Okay. And this is all over the Philippines, right?
Right.
Every major mall.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
But CJ, I think I should also mention that
yes.
Bayo is actually we started managing Bayo 2013 as an investor.
Okay. Yeah.
We were suppliers of the brand prior to that.
Right.
And in 2014, just a year after the invitation to be part of Bayo, the founders sold it to us.
Right.
So we've been managing Bayo into becoming a sustainable fashion company, becoming pa lang, since then.
Okay, since you brought up the magic word sustainable, all right, what was your aha moment that you went into sustainability, in this platform sustainability?
Actually, I've been very passionate about it, even before it was a buzzword. And I think it's an inherent value, to Filipinos.
Right.
Most of us are mindful by nature of the people and places around us. But it's really part of us. But that aha moment, I would attribute to my daughter. I really thank her for, bringing to my attention our textile waste. it's the biggest problem we need to address.
Right.
At the tender age of, she was at that time about maybe 12 years old, if I remember correctly. She was with me, and she was with me almost always during summertime. And I didn't notice that she would always look at the piles of textiles that we have. And in just, a matter of few visits, she asked about, what do we do with all those waste? And I told her simply that, oh, well, the garbage collectors would come and get them. But she wasn't satisfied with that answer. And she went on to ask, then what will happen after they get it? I said, well, it will go to the dump site, I guess. But that moment actually made me go into sleepless nights, I should I should say.
The woke generation. Okay. I
Yeah,
spoke to you, a member of the woke generation.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So from then on, I resolved to myself that next time my daughter or my children ask me, I should have
Yeah.
a better answer. So we started implementing the significant changes, formalize the concept to
Right.
achieve our sustainable goals. And, you know, we can't do that alone if we only think about numbers and profits.
Right.
And so very timely in 2017, it was the 25th year, hindi pa pala 50, 25th year of Bayo. And I found it a very important milestone, and I wanted really to make it matter. And so we put up our foundation, Bayo Foundation, and we marked it as a year to create our blueprint using a circular pathway to sustainability, which gave birth to our Journey to Zero
That's
initiative.
right. I have seen your FB post in 2019 of the Journey to Zero. Maybe you can tell us what Journey to Zero is for Bayo.
Yeah. Well, Journey to Zero, zero is symbolic for zero waste, zero carbon emission, zero for circular economy. Talagang all in,
Right.
it has been, since it's a blueprint for us, it has to make sense, like, what it really means just by
Right.
looking at the name. And so that really brought us into how are we going to make our future, like the future of the business, go deeply into managing the way we do our products. So we started mapping from materials to production to retail, because we're a fully integrated company. So we have manufacturing, retail, and distribution all in one. We also have trading. So we have full control of the way we do our business. So Journey to Zero makes sense for us because it's an overarching framework for
Right.
sustainability.
Okay. So in this Journey to Zero, okay, and I'm listening to it and I'm saying, okay, and I saw some of your efforts in the store. Is it hard? You're a 30-year-old store with 60 branches. What about a small retailer or an emerging retailer? Is it hard to get, is it easy or hard to get into a sustainability platform?
Well, it is very hard.
Okay,
That's why you
reality
need,
check. Okay.
that's why you really need the heart to do it. It's not, it's not simple as just transitioning. That's why we started even before 2019, right? 2019 was the formal launch, like sharing of our experiences already. We didn't want to go out there and just share our plans and aspirations. We wanted to be out there to share what we have been doing and to prove that sustainability is actually doable. It's something that you do from the heart, so it makes you feel good. It makes you do better things, not just for now, but for the future. So it's like building a legacy altogether. Did I just date myself?
No, no.
legacy building, legacy building and all that. But well, as a mother, I guess it also goes hand in hand, thinking about the future of my children and how I'll be able to respond to them eventually. So it's like, do this now, and you can thank me later, or thank all of us all together later. So it's an enjoyable journey for me, because while at it, you learn to discover that, by being mindful today is actually benefiting the things that will come tomorrow.
Let's talk about that word. Actually, the combination of the words, mindful living, because it doesn't just start in the big corporate setting, but actually it seems to start from you, an owner, to think of mindful living. Can you share your thoughts on mindful living?
Well, let me start by saying that before we even advocated for sustainability, the first thing we did was to check on each one of our team members in the company, made sure that everyone understood what sustainability is.
Right, right.
And looking back, I would remember the first question, what to you is sustainability? Everyone is, they were also excited to raise their hands and say, "Oh, ma'am, it's about not bringing single-use
Yeah,
plastics or
right.
the bottles, and ma'am, I'm sustainable and all that because I don't throw my plastic somewhere else. I bring it home." I mean, those are the things that we start with, the personal um, adoption of what is sustainability. But as you go on, you learn that it's all superficial, but it is the start. So it's okay. So if you want to go the sustainable route, you don't have to overwhelm yourself into embracing it right away. You have to really understand first what it is and what benefit can you have from it, not just you but the people around you. So it's about being conscious, being mindful. It's because you're not thinking just of yourself, but the people and the environment around you. So that's why it's exciting, that's why it's fun to do, because it's a whole lot of activities all together.
I just picked up something. Does it mean one of the things you look for in members of your team is that they have to practice mindful living? They have to be at that sustainable mindset. Is that important? Everybody in your team has that. It's part of the competence or the attitudes that you look for when you're recruiting.
Well, when we recruit, we don't expect them to know about it.
Okay.
But right now, when we do interviews, it's actually people wanting to be part of our company because they look at the brand as to an aspirational place to be in, because they are also open to learning about the practices. But we're not a know-it-all company. We're still in a learning curve, and we don't use sustainability as a starting requirement, because we understand that it is really a big scope that is a lot of things to learn from. So yeah, it's an ongoing thing for all our team members, but we just try as much as we can to communicate what sustainability is and why we're doing it, because we don't just dictate.
Right.
There's always a choice and option whether you embrace it or not. But since you're part of the company, it would be good to also know about it and make your own path.
Okay. Let's go back to the journey to zero. The key pillars of journey to zero are what? What are the key pillars for journey to zero?
Yeah, it has something to do with the transformation. Maybe what I can share is how we started and how we are transforming.
Right.
In 2019, we are looking into zero waste.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all about managing the waste and the resources. Um, So that's one of the very important pillar. So we put that under planet, because before I would research and try to find for some framework. So I came across the three P's: people, planet, and also partnerships. Not partnerships instead of profit. So
Okay.
that was the beginning. So we made sure that our people in the company are ethically paid. These are the number one metrics for us.
Right.
They are the number one asset also of the company. If not for our people, we will not be where we are now, right? We can't do everything alone. So we have to take care of them. So I mentioned about the environment because the way we practice is that why do we do zero waste? It's because we don't want our waste to end up in the landfills, in response to my daughter's question.
Right.
Right. So, and then partnerships, because we can't do it alone. We have to collaborate. We have to go out our comfort zones and really reach out. And then eventually, the year after, but Bayo was invited by UNGC, by the United Nations
Right.
Global Compact, through its local chapter, Global Compact Network Philippines. It's because of the journey to zero. They saw what we've been doing, and I was told later on that they do investigate, or they go around asking people and that. But we were so happy to be invited, and so we applied, because you have to apply
Okay.
even if you're invited. And then when we got accepted, that's there when I was able to learn the principles-based approach. So that's going side by side with our journey to zero, sort of validating the plans that we've been working on, but with the principles being advocated by the global network. It's something that would add more meaning to what you're doing. And in the context of aligning with the principles, you become so motivated and passionate about it even more, because you see now a bigger picture of the effects of sustainability from our own communities towards the outside. So now we have a bigger picture, so that our responsibility has also become bigger.
Right. Now, that's a distinction to be part of the United Nations Global Compact. So what are the other activities you do for this particular affiliation you have?
Well, right now we're part of the National Steering Committee. We are divided into three pillars: the people, planet, and prosperity. So in those committees, we discuss our ways forward, and then whatever we accomplish, that will be shared in a higher level, more on sharing it with more people and platforms, so that we can invite more companies to really embrace and push for the sustainable development goals.
Okay.
And we're also, hopefully this can be a platform to invite companies to join the Global Compact Network Philippines. They are the local chapter of the United Nations Global Compact. So if you become a member, all you have to do is apply, and there is a process on how you are accepted, and hopefully before you apply, you'd be able to at least think about it's not just being a member, but being a member because you would really advocate for sustainability.
Okay, I have a controversial question. Okay, what keeps companies from being sustainable, or what keeps companies from joining platforms like United Nations Compact, Global Compact? Are there hindrances that companies have to, that you see that companies have to manage?
Well, for one, maybe they know that somewhere in their company there are information that they will not be proud of.
Okay.
Because I don't see any reason why you would not, be part of it. But it doesn't mean that if you're not part of it, you're not doing good. Maybe it can also be they don't like, organizations. They just want to do things by themselves, which is
Okay.
also okay as long as you're doing good. But on our end, it really helped. It really helped put the proper framework, and it's good because they have an academy. Actually, you can,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's part of your membership. You can learn about the climate change and what's going on, because to me, once you know the consequence of the negative impacts that a company is doing, I think it's going to be a very you know big impact on the decision whether to go sustainable or not.
Okay. As part of your journey to zero, as I've seen in your store and also your social media, you're using fabrics that were either sustainably sourced or recycled. And there's a campaign of Made for Life. Maybe you can tell us more on how you translate all of this into actual products that you sell in the store.
Yeah, actually, Made for Life was built by stories of how our fashion has gone from one generation to the next.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's because it's been 30 years. So it's composed of those stories, like a mother passing on to the daughter and the daughter passing on to the sister. So that in itself is sustainable practice.
Okay.
And then we now add in the component of using better materials. So we have a combination of recycled fabrics, also natural fibers, and we are also using polyester-based fabrics, which is a no-no when it comes to sustainable fashion. But we are in a transition, so instead of using virgin polyester, we're using recycled polyester. But I have to say we are not 100% into it because we still have fabrics on hand. But the good news there is that the polyester-based fabrics can be recycled. And we're using them actually as a resource material for our recycling, so that the goal of zero waste can still be achieved. So Made for Life is a campaign connected to Journey to Zero, because Journey to Zero is not a campaign actually. It's already embedded in our DNA, right? So it will stay on, but Made for Life is like our arms and legs that talk to people so that they can understand more what the brand is about and what it advocates, and applying that to the everyday life of our customers.
I even saw what caught my eye was that you have a tips for decluttering. It's like a Marie Kondo. It was a very interesting one. Maybe you can talk about that and how do you start off uh, being
Well,
mindful living.
you start by looking at your closet, uh,
Okay.
right? Um, this is a personal practice of mine that maybe it's being practiced already by most Filipinos, because I like to keep things simple. I'm not into so much things going on in my clothes, just because I get dizzy with all the
Overwhelmed.
details going on in my outfit, and I think I extend that to the brand, because they have no choice. I'm also the chief creative director of the
Right.
brand,
Oh,
not just Bayo, but all of our brands.
right.
And so that practice of mindful living is extended. And so far, our team is happy with the way we are communicating it. It's not just marketing a product, telling people to buy from us. It's also extending the message of mindful shopping, consciously choosing the pieces that you will put into your closet. So clean up is very important. Eventually, we will be offering a space for the clothes that you don't want anymore.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Things like, you can always donate. I think that is the first option. So we will help you avoid throwing them, like, it ends up somewhere that we don't want to. It might end up, in the landfill we're in. If you stock it for so long, it will emit methane gas, which is very dangerous to the atmosphere. I don't want to continue on that discussion because it's really technical,
It's
but
okay. It just gives context, really. It gives
yeah,
context of these things we do accumulate so many things. But later on, we also need to let go, right? And
yeah,
during the pandemic, Marie Kondo became a way to do things.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
now,
So from that mindful managing of your clothes, right? So when you choose the clothes that you buy, it's also important that you buy better materials, quality made uh, clothes that will help you tell a story. It's the connection, that emotional connection that you will have, so that you will really take care of it, of what you have, and then eventually you can pass it on to your family, because it's something that you value before you really decide to just let go of it.
right, so that's the made for life. Now, since 2019, even before that, it's now 2022. What are the impact of your campaign, Journey to Zero? Has it made you become more profitable? What is there more traction that you get? I've seen you were featured recently in the Inquirer's lifestyle section. Has it made your shoppers more engaged? Maybe you can share some of the benefits of more than 10 years in this platform.
Yeah, maybe I can begin with the very first benefit that was really felt by the company when we decided to let go of our single-use plastics for our deliveries. Because I don't know if you can still recall, like, you're always in the mall, you can see you can see well, until now, I think, no, they still use plastics, the tall ones, as tall as a person. And we used to have that. And we're spending almost 1 million for that every year, just to send clothes in between our manufacturing and then to our stores. We had to let go of that and changed it to a recyclable um, plastic. So it's made of recycled plastic that can still be recycled.
Right.
So reusable plastics. Uh, we bought it for less than 1 million for all the stores. Sorry, I'm already sharing the amounts now.
It's okay because you want to show that there are benefits to this move.
Yeah, so instead of spending almost 1 million every year, we only spent almost 1 million once, and we have since been reducing that, and it's been about 5 years now, and it's still good. I mean, it's still being used. So the savings alone in that intentional plan of removing the single-use plastic is about 5 million to
Wow.
date.
Okay.
So to us, it's big. We are a small company. Maybe in other companies, that's small money, but to us, it is big.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the advantages of becoming sustainable. So the thinking there is that you save on the resources that harms the environment, right? But you use that savings to add on to the more valuable materials that you can provide to your customers. So that savings we added so that we can buy better materials that we offer to our customers, and managing our cost so that we don't abruptly increase our prices.
Okay.
So, that kind of thinking, I think, works not only for us, but to companies who are really wanting to do it but are scared because all they think about is that sustainability is expensive.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
it's actually putting the right resources into the proper places. So
Okay.
there.
How about the customers? the women
Oh
who
yeah.
buy, what was their feedback? I mean, what kind of what kind of stories they share with you when it comes to this journey to zero or made for life?
Um, I felt that actually not only from our customers, because the customers now, they also message us. They're not so much into putting in public their appreciation, but
Yeah,
we do acknowledge that so most of our customers are really private, I think, because we receive a lot of congratulations and good messages about what we have been doing, and really telling us kind words just to go on, and it helps motivate us. So on that note, we can see that we have somehow reached into the hearts of our customers, and we have a lot of younger customers now compared to before. So I think it has something to do with things that we've been doing. It appeals a lot to the younger generation.
true.
Although we're not doing it intentionally for marketing, it's a good effect of what we've been doing. And when we opened an opportunity for work, for the first time, we received more than 100 applicants
Wow.
for one position. So that was alarming, but in a good way. and and mostly very, very young students who wanted to have internship, or fresh grads who are just first timers for applying to a job. And we had a good mix of people, and it was so hard for us to choose among the
Yeah.
applicants. Yeah, but it's a good sign.
That's true. It's gaining traction with the with the younger generation, the woke generation, who's more concerned really about the Mother Earth, in
Yes.
effect, and because they really will feel it. And you can see the super typhoon we just had recently, right?
Mhm.
Part of it. Anna, how do you combine fashion retail and social entrepreneurship?
Actually, it helps us integrate a principles-based approach to doing business, because it makes us focus not only on profitability but also on value creation.
What is value creation?
Yeah, it's all about building that value within our value chain network. So it's composed of the people that is working together with us. We have the material producers, the farmers, the conventional fabric makers, this big network of stakeholders that we have,
Right.
from the people who make our clothes to the makers to the wearers. There is value that we put in every collaboration, every partnership that we have with them, and that is integral to how it is to be combining traditional business and putting in the values of social entrepreneurship.
My first of my last two questions. What are your three key learnings in your more than 10 years of being on the platform of sustainability?
Yeah, it's actually setting the intentions and learning to collaborate, and also sustaining what is the advocacy of the brand, which is really to continue to do good and be better in the network of the processes that we have in our company, and not only within our company but also extending to our external stakeholders. And what pushes us actually is to do our advocacies, no, with our intentions. We have sustainability for one, and also women empowerment. Because of this two, combining them make us achieve our goals of sustainability. We use the edge of having women in our core, first as our customers, but
Right.
mostly our makers. We are composed of 80%, more than 80% actually, of women within the network of our value chain. And this makes us look into women as a cornerstone of our business. They help us push the brand further because, for one, we are a women's wear brand, right? And because of that, we're able to deep dive on the needs of women and how we can make our brand integral to how it is to be more empowered. So it it has made our brand like a platform already for doing good, especially for empowering communities. But when I say women empowerment, it's not just involving women, but also men who empower women and women who empower men. So in
Nice.
that sense, in that sense, it makes our work really a passion project, not just to sell clothes, but we have a lot of activities going on in our brands that make us really you know happy and always exciting because there's a lot of things going on.
I like the word passion projects. But can passion projects be profitable?
Oh, definitely. Otherwise, we would not stay on until now. We're still growing, we're expanding, we're opening branches, we're reaching out to our community partners, to our foundation. So it's a constant evolving of the things we do, and we are able to do because the brands that we have support our advocacies to our community development.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Anna. That's an impactful way to start our fourth season. Thank you, Anna, for sharing your innovative and sustainable plans. And we hope this episode will get us started or reinforce our decision to go green. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the co-CEO and Chief Creative Officer of Bayo Manila, Anna Lagon. You know the drill. Click and subscribe to our Let's Talk Retail podcast on YouTube, and we are also on Spotify. This is CJ Sena of the Champagne Plaza. We'll see you again in our next episode. Thank you for joining us today, and stay safe.